Okay. I'm casting to my board upstairs. Hang on. AMJ T4 K. All right. So I ask you, to make sure that you logged into my PLTW and to log into Fusion both. So let me pull up my PLTW and show you where I'm wanting you to look on this. So we are working in Unit 2, and we're in Unit 2.1. So you're going to drop that little drop-down arrow right there, right? And then we're doing 2.1.3, putting it together. So what we're looking at right here. Now, we're going to come back to this in just a minute, but I just want to make sure everybody knew where you're at, okay? 2.1.3 is what we're looking at today. Now, before we get to that, though, remember yesterday in Fusion, I had you make 4 rectangles, or 4 rectangular prisms, and you're supposed to be connecting them to make a box. Now, I don't think anyone found the align tool yet. No. Did anyone find the align tool, or was everybody physically manipulating them to turn them? Yeah. Physically manipulating them. Okay. So there's an easier way, and I'm going to have you do this. The first thing that we're going to do today is I'm going to have you use the align tool to make your box. All right. Now it takes a little practice to get good at it, but once you understand the concept of it, it's super easy and super simple to use. So the align tool is under modify right here. You'll see modify? Yes. I'm not going to move any of these physically. I'm not going to grab them and turn them and rotate them and all that stuff. So I'm going to, and I'll probably mess up. I'm just warning you in advance. I'm going to click on align, and then I'm going to select either edges or faces that I want to align. It's based on what I'm doing. Okay? So like if I click this edge right here, y'all see how I've got that edge? Let me see if I can zoom in. See how I have that edge selected right there? So if I click on that edge right there and I want to,
That's a face.
Yes, thank you. That face, not that edge, that face. And I want to take one of those other pieces and butt it up beside it. I'm not going to pick a side face, because what happens if I do that? A line just pulls them even. So if I click this face right here, I'm going to go ahead and do it and show y'all what happens. Yeah, they're offset. One's higher than one's lower, but see how they're now like this? Mm-hmm. Right? That didn't accomplish anything for me. Y'all see what I'm saying? If I want them to be aligned, and I don't think align has a shortcut, so you have to go in and select it every time. So I'm going to click this, right? And then I'm going to click this face.
The top one?
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think is going to happen when I do that?
On top of each other?
It's going to take that face, it's going to turn it so that it lines up. Well, I took the other one, but y'all see. Now, I'm still not lined up though, right? It may take a couple of clicks to get it where I need it to be. So you can see right here, see how it is overlapping right in there? So a couple of things that I can do. There's a couple of different options I have. What I'm thinking is going to be the best way to do this is do this edge right here. Y'all see this edge right here? Mm-hmm. With that edge right there. I think if I do those two edges, let's see if it works. So if I do modify and I do align and I click this edge and I click that edge right there. So that lined them up flush. Now I just need them to be at the same point at the end. So I'm going to turn it right? I need to go ahead and click OK, because if I don't, it won't apply. So I'm going to turn this so that I can align, say, this edge here with that edge there. To me, using faces is good for rotating things, and using edges is good to get them flush against each other. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to do modify align again. I'm going to click on this, that, think the bottom one?
I think the bottom, the smaller one.
Okay.
Right here, you see the bottom.
So y'all think this one here? Okay, so that one there, and that one there. I think I may have clicked something wrong. Okay. Align this bottom with that right there. Okay. And there we go. We've got that one aligned. Now, I will tell you, because you guys have a mouse, it's way faster to do with the mouse than it is with me trying to do with my little mouse pad. Okay? So, that will be the first thing you do today. But I'm not done talking. Don't be taking off yet. I'm still talking. Okay. So, the next thing that you're going to do today is if you look at my PLTW, it tells you, ignore this stuff up here for today. We're not looking at that yet. It talks about degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom is just translating. Y'all know what translation is. Y'all have all been in math, right? Translating is shifting. That's what translating is, right? Shifting. So you translate along an axis. A rotation, you rotate around an axis, right? Y'all know what those are. Well, because we have 3 axes in 3-dimensional space, an X, a Y, and a Z, you can translate along the X-axis or rotate around the X-axis. You can translate along the Y-axis or rotate along the Y-axis. And Z. So that means you have 6 different degrees of freedom. That's what they're talking about on this degrees of freedom, okay? Here's where I'm wanting you to go, though. Ignore 2. We're going to come back to 2 in a day or 2. But y'all see this number 3 right here? Number 3? So you're going to do this part. See where it says in product documentation, review the assembling model overview? It's been a while since we've looked at product documentation. So I want to remind you how you get there, okay? So you're going to go to your Fusion 360. And over here where the question mark is, y'all see that question mark, right? You're going to click on that question mark and you're going to hover over learning and documentation. And see the little menu at the side. See where it says product documentation? When you click on that, it will open up a browser to this page. Right? Over here on the left, y'all see where it says assemblies? Click that. Look at assembly overview. So you're going to look at this and read through this information here about assemblies. Okay? This part down here, y'all see where these are numbered? That's just telling you what each of these components are right there. All right? So you're going to look through this assemblies overview. And then the other thing you're going to do is look through. See where it says joints right here? So you're going to look at joint types. Under joint, you're going to look at joint types. I want this information about joint types in your engineering notebook at the end of today.
So you want us to write that?
Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, I don't want you to copy that word for word. Shorten it. Make it concise. This is practice on making things concise. Look at that. Put what absolutely has to be in there. Nah. I mean, shoot, we ain't artists, right?
No, we ain't going.
We ain't artists. This is art class. We're not going to draw pictures. I want you to understand it, right? But I don't want you spending 45 minutes trying to draw a picture of something that you cannot draw a picture of. So this joint type, it has this, but if this is difficult for you to understand, it has a more specific direct description, and it has pictures that go along with it, okay? So you can scroll down and look at that. So you're looking at assembly overview. First of all, you're making a box, right? Everybody's making a box, an open-ended box, using a line, not using manipulation, using a line. Once your box is made, then you're going to do the assembly overview and the joint type. And that's your assignment for today. Everybody good? All right, go get to work.